So, good evening, students. This is our second day, first session of mental maths tricks. And today we are going to learn how we can calculate arithmetic problems by using our mind. So, we are going to continue what we have learned from the previous day, right? So, we saw on the first session, like how we can those numbers, like how we can add those two numbers together, right? If we are going to add those two numbers, we have to add them from left to right. Instead of doing right to left, we have to add those numbers from left to right. Why we do like that is simple. If we are going to do those calculations or the arithmetics from our mind, we have to do like this, right? As an example, we have to, if we are going to add these two numbers together, what we have to do is we have to add like this, as this arrow indicates. We have to add 20 plus 40, so then it will be 60. And then we have to add this 4, and then it will be 64. After that, we have to add this 7. So then altogether, it will be 71. So like this, we have to add, even if we have 3-digit numbers, we have to apply the same, like 1, 2, 3, like 2, 3, 1. If these two numbers are added together, we have to apply that same technique. Like we have to add these things like this arrow indicates. We have to add hundreds, then after we have to add tens, and then after we have to add ones. So likewise, if we continue like that, and then it will be easy for our mind to catch up these things, and our mind will calculate these things from our mind itself, right? So it will be easy why I am teaching these things, because these simple basic addition techniques will be applied for harder techniques, right? So as an example, if you are going to multiply 100 more than 100, like if you are going to multiply 112 times 113, of course we can do that by our mind. If we are going to do those things, and we will need these techniques in future, right? So I will, don't worry, I will explain it to you how we can exactly calculate those numbers by only using our mind. It will be very simple. Maybe within 10 seconds, we can do that calculations. Okay, so that is the first thing we saw on our first session. And on the second session, on the next thing that we saw like is, we saw that how we can subtract those numbers, right? So if we are going to subtract those two numbers, as an example, if we are going to subtract 28 from 81, what we have to do is we have to subtract the next tens. That means we have to subtract 30 from this 81. So then the answer will become as 51. That is obvious. After that, what we have to do is we have to add that difference between this 30 and this 28. We know that the difference will be 2. So that particular 2 will be added with this 51. So that will result in 53, right? So that is how we calculate subtraction. So that is the second technique that we have learned in our previous session. If you are coming new to this class, I will share you the recorded videos so that you can learn after this class ends, right? Okay. So now we are going to learn about the multiplication. Multiplication, we have categorized them like this: 0 to 9 numbers, multiplying by 10, multiplying by 11, as well as multiplying the numbers in between 12 to 19. As well as we have a lot of categories like this: 21 to 90, 91 to 99, more than 100, right? So we will learn one by one how we can exactly calculate these numbers only by using our mind, right? You don't have to use any pen or papers to do these calculations. If you want to take notes, of course, you can take notes by writing them down. But when you are doing the calculation, you have to only use your mind to do these calculations, right? So that is why we are learning this course, because after learning this course, we have to calculate everything like arithmetic from our mind, right? We don't have to use that pen and paper to write down those calculations and all the other things, right? So that is the purpose of this course. Okay, so these things I have explained to you earlier. So if you are new to this class, so I will provide you the recorded videos for you. So then we can learn these things. And now we are going to learn more than 100, right? Even we saw that 98 times 96. So we saw how we can calculate the numbers in between 91 to 99, right? Do you want me to explain these things? So if you want something, if I have to explain this technique, you can raise your hand so that I can explain this to you. Or if you have already shown the video, so then it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, someone raised their hand, so I will explain this technique, right? Okay, so this technique is very simple, right? If we are going to multiply any two-digit numbers that are relying in between 91 to 99, right? In an examination or whatever, you saw the numbers that are lying between these two numbers, 91 to 99, right? So then it will be easy. We can calculate this one within maybe 3 or 5 seconds, right? Let me explain it to you. It's very simple and interesting. So here, if you saw like 98 times 96, it's very simple. These two numbers are near to 100. So what we have to do is we have to write 100 like this, right? Just for the explanation purpose, I'm writing these things for you. When you are doing the calculation, you can think, okay, 100 will be there and 2 will be there like this, and you can calculate that, right? Okay, so these numbers are near to 100. So the difference between 100 and 98 is 2, right? We know that 100 minus 98, it will be 2. And then 96 and 100, the difference is 4, right? So 100 minus 96, it will be 4. It's obvious, right? Now, what we have to do is we have to multiply the differences, not these two numbers. Don't multiply these two numbers. We have to multiply the differences together, right? So then these 2 and this 4 will be multiplied together. If you multiply them together, we know that the answer will be 8, right? But what we have to do is we have to write that answer as a two-digit number, right? We have to write it as a two-digit number. So then the answer will become as 08. Let's say if you obtain 42, you have to write 42 as it is. If you have obtained like 51, 52, you have to write 52 as it is, right? There will be no reminders and all the other stuffs. We have to write as it is. If it comes like 8, we have to write it as 08, right? Okay, so we have found those two numbers. Now the next step is we have to find this number. It's very simple. What we have to do is we have to obtain this number. Okay, it's 98. And then we have to subtract the next difference. Next difference means this 4. If you obtain this 96, you have to subtract the next difference. That means it will be 2. All those two methods will come as the same number, right? As an example, if you subtract this 4 from 98, we know that the answer will be 94. The 94 will come as it is over here. Even if you follow the second technique, like 96 minus 2, that will also become as 94, right? It's obvious. This is how it will come, right? So now you have learned a simple and quicker tip how we can calculate the numbers in between 91 and 99. If I provide you another example, then this technique will be very easier for you to understand, right? As an example, if I write what is 99 times 99, right? We know that this number and this number, these two numbers are lying in between this range. Now, what we have to do is we have to obtain this 100, right? So 99 and 100, the difference between 99 and 100, it will be 1. And also, in between these two things, 99 and 100, the difference is also 1, right? Now, what we have to do is we have to multiply the differences, not these two numbers, right? We have to multiply the differences. If we do that, and then 1 and this one will be multiplied together, so that the answer will become as 1. But keep in mind that we have to write it as a 2-digit number. So then 0, 1 will become over here. Not 1, it will be a 0, 1. After that, what we have to do? It's very simple. We have to subtract 1 from this 99. So 99 minus 1, it will be 98. Very simple, right? So this is the answer. This is how we calculate that multiplication, right? Hope you understand this one. Let me provide you another example. Like, what is 97 times 96? This time, I'm not going to write anything, right? So this time, I'm not going to write anything. I'm just going to put the answer in a row like this, right? So can anyone tell me what will come over here? You can raise your hand or you can answer the question. I will unmute you. So what will come over here? Can anyone answer me? It's very simple. No problem if your answer is wrong. I'm not going to bother you. Just practice the answers, right? Okay, what will come over here?
9,312.
9,000?
312.
12, yeah. So how did you do that? It's very simple. So yeah, it's very simple. It will be 3, it will be 4. So differences, we have to multiply them together. So 3 times 4, it will be 12. Okay, 12 will come as it is. No reminders and other stuffs, only for this particular technique. So then 12 will come as it is. And then after 97 minus 4, it will be 93. Even if you subtract this 3 from 96, that will also become as 93. I don't know why that happens, right? That is how it is. Okay, so that will be clear for you. And can you provide me the answer for the square of 98? What is 98 times 98? Can you say the answer directly to me? No writings and all the other things. What is the answer? 9,000? 9,000 how much?
9,604.
Yeah, 604. That's the answer. Simple, right? We have to obtain the differences, multiply them together, and then we have to obtain 98, and we have to subtract the another difference, right? Do not subtract this and this difference, right? That will be wrong. We have to subtract the other number's difference. This 4 should be multiplied from this first number, or vice versa. 2 should be multiplied. 2 should be subtracted from this 96, right? So likewise, we have to do that. Okay, so can anyone say the answer how much it will be, like 92 times 92? What is the answer? Can you say that? Pretty simple. 92 times 92, how much it will be? 8,000? How much it will be? 8,000? How much? 8,000 how much? Do I have to explain it again?
8,464.
400?
8,464. Is
Yeah,
it correct?
yeah, that's it. That's it.
8,464.
Yeah, 64. That's the answer. It's very simple. Let me explain it again. 92 times 92. What we have to do is, so the difference between 100 and 92, it will be 8. Do not write anything. Just think from your mind. It will be 8 will be here. And then 92 and 100, the difference will be 8. Right? So then 8 times 8, it will be 64. Right? So that differences, right? We have to multiply those differences together, and then the answer will become as 64. No any reminders or the other stuffs will come into place in here. We have to write as it is. If the number is a single digit number, we have to add 0 in front of that, right? If the answer is 8, we have to write it as 0, 8, like that, right? So if it comes like 64, we have to write it as 64. And then the next step is 92 minus 8. We have to subtract this 8 from 92. So then it's obvious. 92 minus 8, it will be 84, right? So 84 will come over here like this. So it's not 8464. When you are talking, you have to say like 8464. That is the answer. Right? If I ask you the question, don't say like 8464. Just you have to say it like 8464. You have to process, right? Then only our mind will become an expert in these things, right? Okay, now if you practice these things daily, if you obtain 10 examples in this particular technique category and practice them day by day, and then you will become an expert. If I write the question, suddenly, even if I finish that writing the question, and then you can answer the question, right? It's very simple. And now we are going to learn more than 100, right? If those two numbers are more than 100, we are going to learn how we can multiply them together, right? So let me explain it like this. So 109, so that will be, we have to multiply the numbers lying in between 101 and 109. If you see those two numbers, and then it will be very, very, very easy, right? You will even after learning this one, you will say like that, right? So the technique is, if you are going to multiply 108 times 106, it will be very easy. What we have to do is, we have to obtain that 100. Why? Because they are near to 100. It's near to 100, 108, 106. They are near numbers to 100. So now what we have to do is, we have to obtain the difference in between 108 and 100. So that difference will be 8. And then after, we have to obtain this difference, 106 and 100. It will be how much? It will be 6. Now, what we have to do is, we have to multiply those differences together. So what is the answer? 8 times 6, it will be 42, right? So 42 will come over here. Very simple, right? Even if you closely analyze this one, it's obvious that even I don't have to write this one for the explanation as well. Why? Because 8 is here, 6 is here. Why do I have to write 8 and 6 over here? It's very simple, right? So now what we have to do is, we have to multiply this and write it over here. 8 times 6, it will be 42. Only for this particular technique, right? Not for the other techniques, only for this technique. Okay, now what we have to do is, we have to, just a second. So now,
8 times,
yeah,
8 times 6, 48, no, sir.
yeah, sorry, that's a mistake. Sorry, yeah, 48. Yeah. Okay, so now what we have to do is, so 108 plus 6. In the previous technique, we saw that this one and this one, we have to subtract them, right? So that 6 will be subtracted from this number in the previous technique. But in this technique, as they are more than 100, we have to add those two numbers, right? We have to add 108 plus 6, right? So we have to add those two numbers. So then it will be like 114, right? Even if you add this one and the next number's difference, that will also result as a same number, right? If you add 106 plus 8, that will also become as 140. We have to write it as it is. So then the answer will be 11,448. Okay. Okay. If I'm wrong in any calculations or something, please let me know, right? Okay. Thank you. We will see another example so that we can learn these things further, right? Another example is like, what is 104 times 103, right? What is the answer for this? The difference is 4. The difference is 3. If you multiply those differences together, so that the answer will become as 12 over here. Now, from 104, we have to add the next number's difference. So 104 plus 3 over here. So 3 will be here, right? So that 3, if we add it with 104, and then the answer will become as 107. Very simple. This is the answer, right? 10,712. Right? Let me provide you another example so that you will understand this furthermore. What is 105 times 105? What is the answer? Is this correct? Can anyone check this? Is this right or wrong?
Wrong, sir.
Wrong? How can you say that? So what is
Nope,
the
it's
answer?
correct. It's correct.
Yeah, it's correct. Let me write these things. So this one is 100. So we have to obtain 100 over here. So the difference between 105 and 100, it will be 5. And then the difference between 105 and 100, it will be 5, right? So we have to multiply these differences together. So then 5 times 5, it will be 25 over here. And now we have to add this one and this one together, or this one and this one together. So what is the answer? 105 plus 5, it will be 110, right? It's very simple. That is how we do these calculations, right? So let me write the question for you and you can just provide me the answer, right? What is 102 times 102? What is the answer? 10,000 how much? 10,000 how much?
10,000
Yeah.
44.
104.
No, 44. Not, it's not 44.
10,404.
404. Yeah, that's the answer. Right? It's very simple. You have to obtain this number and add this one. So then how much it will be? 104, right? And then you have to multiply this and this. So 2 times 2, it will be 4. You have to write it as a 2-digit number. That's the answer. Very simple. So let me provide you another example. What is this one? What is the answer for this? 10,000 how much? 10,000 how much?
10,815.
815. Yeah, that is the answer. So what is 106 times 107? What is this? 11,000 how much?
11,342.
342, that's the answer. Okay, so the next one is like, what is 109 times 109? What is the answer? 11,000? How much? 11,000? When I'm writing the question, I know the answer from mine.
11,881.
881. Yeah, that's the answer. Why I am doing these things faster than you, right? I know this is the answer. Why I'm doing these things faster than you? That is because of practice, right? When I was studying at my O levels and A levels, I used to practice these things every day, right? Every day I will obtain 10 examples. Okay, this one, if I learn one technique, and I will obtain 10 or 100 examples of them. And from my mind, I close my eyes and think, what is this one? This times this. What is this times this? So likewise, I will do the practices when I was on O levels and A levels. Then I came to know it's very simple. If when I'm writing the question, it's very easy for me to calculate the answer. In within 1 or 2 seconds, I can do these arithmetics, right? So likewise, since I'm a human, I'm doing these things. Why can't you do that? Of course you can, right? You are also humans like me. So you are also people. You can do these things. How can you achieve that? It's by practice, right? If you go home and obtain 10 examples in each technique and practice them, how we can add these things, how we can subtract, how we can multiply these things. If you learn these techniques one by one and practice them, and then you will become an expert. After that, you can also provide me the answers very quickly, right? Okay. So the next technique that we are going to learn is different, like not this one. Okay. So now we are going to learn how we are going to calculate this one, right? 111. I think it's better to explain how we can multiply any number by 11 before we start doing this one. So then it will be easy for you to understand this one, because if we have new students in this class, so then it will be easy. So let me share it to you like this. So this is a technique for 11, right? Any number, multiplying any number by 11. It's very simple. If you are going to multiply 252 by 11, it's very simple, right? What we have to do is we have to obtain this number and write it down here. So then 2 will come over here. After that, we have to add these two numbers together and add them together, right? So 5 plus 2, that will be 7. And then we have to obtain these two numbers and add them together. So this 5 plus 2, that will also be 7. And then after adding those two numbers like this, then we have to write that 2 over here, like this, what we have done on the last digit. So this is the answer. Very simple. 2,772. Let me provide you another example. What is 121 times 11? What is the answer? It will be 1. It will be 3. It will be 3. It will be 1. Very simple. Likewise, if you have any reminders, let me provide you 276 times 11. You have to write 6 over here. 7 plus 6, that will be 13. So 3 will come over here and 1 will be a reminder, right? So then 7 plus 2, that will be 9. And then 9 plus 1, that will be equal to 10. So we have to write only that 0 and 1 will be another reminder. And then after we have to write this 2 as it is over here. But we have to keep in mind that we have a reminder over here. So we have to add that reminder with this number. So then it will be 3. So the answer will be 3036, right? So this is the technique for multiplying any number by 11. This is what we have learned in our first session, right? So now we are going to learn how we are going to multiply any number by 111, right? Let me share the screen. Right now we are going to see how we can multiply any number by 111. It's very simple, right? What we have to do is we are going to apply the same technique what we have learned on this technique, right? So the difference between 125 and 100, it will be 25. And then the difference between these two numbers, 111 and 100, it will be 11. Now we have to multiply this number and this number. That is what this technique says, right? We know that. Now we have to obtain, how can we multiply this one? Can anyone say the answer for this? What is the answer? 25 times 11, what is the answer?
275.
Yeah, 275. It's very simple. But it's the answer, right? 275, right? So here we cannot write as it is. 275 we cannot write. We can only write these two numbers together. 75 only will come over here. And then this 2 will be a reminder. Right? This 2 will be a reminder. Now what we have to do? It's very simple. We have to add this one and this one. So 125 plus 11, that will be 136, right? 125 plus 11, that will be 136. But on that 136, we have to add this reminder as well. So that the answer will be 136 plus 2, 138, right? So this is the answer, right? That means the answer will be 13,875. This is how we exactly do that multiplication by this number, right? If you don't understand this one, I can explain it to you again. You can raise your hand. Before that, I have an announcement for you, because since this class is limited for 40 minutes, you have to rejoin the class again in order to continue this. So it will be ended in a minute. So you can rejoin the class. I will provide you the link. I think it's the same link. You can click that same link again and join it. So however, I will provide you the new link for you to join, right? So sorry for the inconvenience. You can join the class again, right?